Here we have a problem that's very similar to one of the homework problems. So let's look at the given information. Determine the measure of angle GBC. So we're looking for the measure of this angle. Vertex is B. We're given that in the figure angle ABC, so that would be this angle, makes an angle of 123 degrees with the floor. So this measure, 123 degrees of this angle. We are given that line 1 and line 2 are parallel. That doesn't seem to help us in this problem because the information we're looking for is this missing angle. Looks like angle ABC and angle GBC are supplementary angles, which means that the measures should add up to be 180 degrees. So we would have the measure of angle ABC plus the measure of angle GBC should equal 180 degrees. We know that measure of angle ABC is 123, plus it's unknown what the measure of angle GBC is, but we know that their sum needs to be 180. So if I subtract 123 from 180, I'm left with my unknown angle having a measure of 57 degrees. So this angle would be 57 degrees, and we can double check that by adding 123 plus 57 gives me a total of 180. Here's a homework problem that's similar to one of our homework problems in 9.2. It says use similar triangles to solve. A person who's 5 feet tall is standing 90 feet from the base of a tree, and the tree casts a 100-foot shadow. The person's shadow is 10 feet in length. What is the height of the tree? So actually the drawing is filled in some of the information for us. We know that the shadow, it was given in the problem, was 100 feet in length. And then the shadow of the person was 10 feet long. So what's given here, and it could be given in some problems and not others, but that would leave this remaining part to be 90 feet. Let's look at those similar triangles. I have a larger triangle and a smaller triangle. The larger triangle here, we don't know the height of the tree. In fact, that's what we're asked to find. So we'll represent that with X. And then the base of this triangle is 100 feet long. And then our smaller triangle is going to come here. Okay? And we know that these are similar triangles for a couple of reasons. I'm going to erase this to make it a little more clear. But first of all, this angle is 90 degrees, this angle is 90 degrees, and then they have another pair of corresponding angles because this is exactly the same angle. So we would know that these two triangles, if this angle corresponds with this one, they have exactly the same angle measure, these two angles are exactly the same, then the remaining angle would have to be the same measure as well. Since the sum of both of those triangles' angle measures must be 180. Okay, so let's get back to the smaller triangle. It would have a height of 5 and a base of 10. Okay, and then that's all we need. We're going to set up a proportion since these are similar triangles. And the corresponding sides, if we look at the X And I'm going to set this, I know there are a couple of different ways you could do it, but if we look at x, it corresponds to 5 on the smaller triangle. So the way that I'm working it here, I've got the larger triangle's corresponding side on top, and then the smaller one in the denominator. That would equal the base on the larger triangle over the base on the smaller triangle. Those are corresponding sides as well. And then I could cross multiply. I'd have 10x equals 500. Divide both sides by 10, and x would equal 50, which means that this missing side must have a length of 50 feet. Now, I also could have set it up another way. Let's say that this fraction represents the ratio in the larger triangle of those two sides, and then we'll have a fraction representing the ratio of those two sides in the smaller triangle. So in that case, I would have x over 100 in the larger triangle would have to equal 5 over 10 in the smaller triangle. Okay. And I could simplify if I wanted to before. The arithmetic is pretty simple, so we're just going to go ahead and cross multiply. 10x equals 500, and just like in the previous problem, x would equal 50. So either one of those ways would be correct.